I'm indeed very pleased to join you at this historic workshop here in Suva this morning. First of all, I'd like to extend a very special welcome to those of you who have traveled from other countries to join us here this morning. On behalf of the Government of the Republic of Fiji and the Ministry of Health and Medical Services, we are happy to host you for the next few days in our country and of course our capital, Suva. I hope you will find some time out from your busy schedules to visit downtown Suva and enjoy all it has to offer by the way of shopping, sightseeing and sampling some of our uniquely Fijian cuisine, in moderation of course. It also gives me special satisfaction to know that you are all here this week to mark 20 years of the Pacific Public Health Surveillance Network. Ladies and gentlemen, as with any birthday or anniversary, it is an opportunity to look back and reflect on what has been achieved and also to look forward and anticipate the challenges, opportunities and potential rewards that lie ahead. As a 20-year-old, the network now can be said to be well and truly mature. It has survived infancy, lived through adolescence and now can stand proud as it contemplates a long and a productive adulthood. It is also interesting to think back to the world as it was when the network came into being. Of course, it was a different story then. The network, ladies and gentlemen, was set up to target communicable diseases with a special focus on outbreak-prone diseases that affect the Pacific region. Dengue, measles, rubella, influenza, leptospirosis, typhoid fever, HIV and sexually transmitted infections. That list was subsequently altered to include severe acute respiratory syndrome, which created considerable concern in the early years of the present century. The fact that the World Health Organization declared severe acute respiratory syndrome to be contained in July 2003, and there have been no cases reported since 2004 is a testament to the effectiveness of coordinated surveillance and response, which is the core business of, I believe, the network. While SARS may have been consigned to the history books, the need for vigilance remains. The horrors of Ebola and the threat of Zika are still fresh in our memories. Middle East respiratory syndrome was first reported in 2012, and cases have since been identified in UK, US, Korea, and Philippines. Most of these were linked to travel from the Middle East, which emphasizes the ease and speed with which diseases can spread internationally and in our increasingly connected world. When we reflect on the diseases that were brought to many of our islands by early colonists and settlers and brought in so much death and misery to our forefathers, there is a certain irony in the risk that holidaymakers, international business travelers, and returning expatriate workers bring to our shores daily. Of course, the familiar risks that communicable diseases pose to our population are magnified and multiplied by the threat of antimicrobial resistance. As you turn your focus to the future over the coming days, antimicrobial resistance must, I suggest, feature prominently in your conversations. In 2015, Fiji became the first country in the Pacific to develop and launch a national plan for antimicrobial resistance. One of my earliest public engagements after I took up health portfolio last year was to help mark Antimicrobial Awareness Week. That may help to explain why I continue to feel so strongly about the need to maintain our efforts to reduce the misuse and overuse of antibiotics. To quote Sally Davis, who is the Chief Medical Officer in England, I quote, "Antimicrobial resistance is a ticking time bomb. We need to work with everyone to ensure that apocalyptic scenarios of widespread antimicrobial resistance does not become a reality," unquote. I invite you all to take heed of those words from the passionate advocate for antimicrobial awareness and reflect on what they might mean for the future challenges of communicable diseases in our region. Ladies and gentlemen, as the Minister for Health, I naturally find myself spending a great deal of my time focusing on the challenges of non-communicable diseases and the struggle to address the lifestyle factors that play such a major role in the growth in our Pacific region. The reality is that Fiji, along with the rest of our region, still grapples with the so-called double burden of communicable and non-communicable diseases, and will continue to do so for some years to come. We could not afford to lack the very real threat of non-communicable diseases distract us from the ongoing need to tackle communicable diseases. Both pose real threats to our people, their livelihoods, our country's economic growth, and our ability to provide our citizens with a better quality of life. I have used the term region several times in speaking to you this morning, and that is, of course, another of the key strengths of this network. Your regional outlook reflects and acknowledges the irrelevance of national borders when it comes to communicable diseases. At the same time, the network's ability to draw upon the diverse skills and resources of our vast region, while also acknowledging our different cultures and environments, is surely one of its distinguishable features. The idea of Pacific countries seeking to establish standalone national surveillance networks would seem today to be absurd. That is again a testament of the fact that the regional network has proved its value over the past 20 years and beyond, and I'm confident the network will continue to do so for the next 20 and beyond. I can confirm to you, ladies and gentlemen, this morning that Fiji is and will remain a firm friend of the network. We have advocated for the network in numerous forums. We have supported its coordinating bodies. We have contributed to its efforts to build capacity in laboratory services, building on the expertise of our own Level 2 laboratory at Mataika House here in Suva. We will continue to provide support in those and other areas as and when the need arises. As we look back, ladies and gentlemen, we should also recognize that a network such as this is always evolving, both in terms of the issues it seeks to address, as I have mentioned and you will discuss, but also in terms of the people whose work sustains it. The network is bigger than any individual, but at the same time it is made up of individuals, and this is perhaps also a good opportunity to acknowledge all of those who have moved on to other roles, to other places, to other earned retirement, or even sadly, but inevitably, who are no longer with us. These individuals and organizations have helped to make the network what it is today, and their legacy remains and will continue to remain so. Ladies and gentlemen, the work that you will be doing over the next few days is of vital importance to our region and our people. Your agenda, I believe, is packed. You will be busy, but I'm sure your passion to maintain and build upon the achievements of the past 20 years will sustain you. I certainly look forward to hearing more of the outcomes of your deliberations. And finally, ladies and gentlemen, I thank you for giving me this opportunity to acknowledge the network and all it has done over the past 20 years, and to join you in looking forward for its future efforts and achievements. On that note, it gives me great pleasure to declare your workshop open. May you have a successful workshop, and may you all have a safe journey back home. Please do enjoy, as I said, the Fijian hospitality. Our country has a lot to offer, and if we can be of any assistance to you, please do not hesitate to ask. Thank you very much, and God bless.